Hi, Michael. So I'm looking at your ads. They look good. You set all your documents up right. They're all the right size. Even your JPEGs were exported correctly. It's at 72 DPI. Um, you gave me all the right file types. You named all of your ads really well. Good naming conventions. So awesome. I'm just going to kind of talk about the sizing of, not the sizing, the design of your ads. So um, each one of your ads in all the different sizes are different ads, it seems like, which is fine, I guess. I mean, but that's not really what I asked for. I just wanted you to design one ad and then change it into different sizes. So all of them should have maybe been, one design. So, I mean, you could have potentially used either gone with the puppy ad or the cat ad, which actually I kind of like the cats. Just, I don't know why. I think it's just because they're all lined up in a row. I do notice that you're using a lot of the same elements in all of your, I mean, you're using pretty much, I believe, the same background in all of your ads. So that's good. And you just kind of changed it up a little bit with a different animal, which actually is not a bad idea. Um, and it does seem like their colors are red and blue, so it's good that you're going with that, and some white too, which is good. And I see that you're using those color combinations. One thing maybe with the button is just to make it look a little bit more like a button. You put this box here, but it maybe just make it a little bit smaller. And red is a good color for a button, especially on kind of a busier background like this photo. So maybe a red button with like white text on it would have been good. But I do like how you put the PetSmart up in the sky so that I can read it well. This one's just tough. Maybe just using the green of the grass would have been good just for the background on it. And, the PetSmart hopefully would have popped off pretty well. Or you could have maybe put the logo here, no background with, maybe a white background, or it wouldn't match the other ads quite as well. But, and then you could have had your kitties all lined up over here. And then you could say, learn, hop on in. Maybe with a red button and with white text instead of white button with red. But I could see where you're going though. Like this is pretty much the same design, but not. You just changed up the picture of the animals into the ads. So I was kind of thinking you did three different designs. But one thing about the ads too, just to keep them extra consistent, is just pick a color for your button and keep it there. So if you go with red with white on it, white text, that probably would have been a good color combo for your button. And your call to action was come in today. Who can resist probably should be taken off the button in this instance. You could put it up here underneath PetSmart maybe, and then make your button look a little bit more like a button. And your call to action is really, it is come in today on this particular ad. So that should be the only thing on the button really is the call to action. This would be more of like a headline probably. So I would move it out of the button and maybe put it up here under PetSmart. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think all of these look pretty good. Other than the buttons needing to be more consistent between the ads, like the colors, and just making them a little bit smaller so they look more like buttons. I mean, this one looks quite a bit like a button. It also helps to round the corners, but you might not have known how to do that in Photoshop because I didn't show you. But you can round the corners, which makes it look even more like a button. Yeah, so I think this is looking good. It's kind of simple, but one thing too with this blue and this red together like this, it is kind of jarring to the eye. So that's why a white would have maybe worked better on the red than the blue on the red, even though I know you're trying to go with the colors from the logo. It's a good idea to maybe not use those colors in that much of a combination because they're so intense and bright that they kind of hurt your eyes when they almost vibrate against each other when they're that close together. So using a white would have probably worked pretty well. But other than that, great job on the design, and we'll see you in class.